The Divided Canon, the narrative of the Gospel of Marcion. Introduction, the first Censor. Imagine stepping into the bustling cosmopolitan docks of Rome in the year 140 AD. The early Christian movement is a loose, fluid network of underground communities, sharing a massive, unorganized collection of scrolls, letters, and competing traditions. Into this environment steps Marcion, a brilliant, hyper-focused outsider from the Black Sea. Marcion looks at the sprawling collection of texts and concludes that the message has been fundamentally compromised, cluttered, and systematically corrupted by older, materialist legal codes. He does something completely unprecedented. He creates the world's first closed structural canon. He ruthlessly slices away the entire Old Testament and edits down the available Greek manuscripts, discarding anything that ties the supreme reality to the physical laws of the earth. At the center of his library sits a singular, highly streamlined text, the Gospel of Marcion. Though his original copies were systematically hunted down and destroyed by his orthodox rivals, leaving us to reconstruct it entirely from their furious line-by-line critiques, the narrative it preserves is a jaw-dropping psychological thriller. Part 1. The Alien Arrival. Standard Gospels begin with long earthly genealogies, birth narratives, and local village politics. The Gospel of Marcion completely shatters this convention. It starts with a sudden, violent cosmic terror. There is no childhood, no manger, and no biological lineage. The narrative opens instantly in the 15th year of Emperor Tiberius. A radiant, enigmatic figure descends directly from the higher heavens, landing on the mountain slopes of Capernaum. The figure is completely alien, meaning he has zero genetic, historical, or physical ties to the material universe or the creator deity who engineered the planet. He does not come to fulfill the local prophecies or validate the local religious systems. Instead, he arrives as an uninvited cosmic anomaly, breaking through the dense gravity of the material plane to offer a pathway of absolute unmerited liberation to a population trapped in a rigid loop of cause, effect, and judgment. Part 2. The Antitheses of the Two Worlds. The core engine of Marcion's narrative is driven by his accompanying text, the Antitheses, a series of blistering, side-by-side logical contradictions designed to expose the absolute incompatibility between the physical creator of this world and the supreme hidden reality. The narrator frames the conflict with razor-sharp, uncompromising polarity. First, the law versus the cure. The earthly creator commands an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, operating on a strict mechanical ledger of cosmic debt. The alien Christ responds by declaring, "If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also," completely breaking the loop of retaliation. Secondly, the fire versus the silence. When an earthly prophet calls down literal fire from heaven to consume his military enemies in the desert, the disciples in Marcion's text ask to do the same. The alien Christ instantly rebukes them, saying, "You do not know what manner of spirit you are of," proving that his power does not operate on the destructive nature of man. In this text, the miracles are reconfigured. When Christ heals a leper or restores sight, he isn't just fixing a biological machine. He is actively sabotaging the flawed, painful rules of the material creator, proving that true consciousness is completely separate from the physical vessel it inhabits. Part 3. The Ransom of the Ghost. The climax of the Gospel of Marcion redefines the mechanics of the crucifixion. The local authorities and the material creator deity conspire to execute this cosmic intruder, nailing his physical manifestation to a cross, believing they have successfully defended their borders. But the execution is a brilliant, high-stakes tactical trap. Because the alien Christ possesses no physical flesh derived from this earth, rulers of this world have zero legal jurisdiction over him. By striking him down, the material legal system violates its own cosmic laws. The text reveals that the crucifixion was an illusion used to purchase the freedom of humanity. The supreme hidden reality effectively bankrupts the material system by holding it accountable to its own rigid rules. The cosmic veil is permanently torn open. The heavy debt of the material world are instantly erased, and a clean, unencumbered pathway is established for the human mind to ascend out of the physical world entirely. Epilogue. The core extraction. Let's burn away the ancient Gnostic terminology and look at the raw, practical architecture of Marcion's work. It establishes an intense operational strategy, that being the core extraction. Most people spend their entire lives drowning in administrative noise. In your career, your creative projects, and your daily life, you are constantly handed a massive legacy of unwritten rules, cultural expectations, and systemic red tape. It is incredibly easy to let your true objective get completely buried under the sheer gravity of historical clutter, leaving you trapped in a reactive loop of managing other people's systems. Marcion's narrative teaches you the power of the brutal edit. When the system becomes too heavy, contradictory, or counterproductive, you do not try to fix it from within by adding more layers. You execute a clean extraction. You systemically strip away the legacy noise, isolate the core truth that actually drives results, and discard the rest without apology. You do not need to seek validation from the existing infrastructure or bow to the historical precedents that came before you. By defining your own closed canon of focus, prioritizing pure utility and absolute clarity over institutional tradition, you instantly drop the dead weight. Break out of the mechanical, reactive loop of your environment to establish absolute personal sovereignty, strategic dominance, and unshakable clarity.